Once upon a time, buttons, clasps, or laces were used to close clothes, bags, and boots. Although people found these methods impractical, no alternative solution was considered. In fact, no one spent time trying new things. But one day, a Swedish inventor, Gideon Sundback, came up with an unusual idea to solve this problem. At the time he was working on the zipper, Gideon was working for a company called Hookless Fastener Company. The company was struggling financially because the zipper was not yet widely accepted. This put pressure on Gideon to make the design more commercially attractive. The success of the zipper saved both the company and his future. In 1930, Gideon designed a much more functional mechanism than an ordinary button or clasp, a system of interlocking teeth. This system was easily opened and closed with the help of a slider, but this design was not easy to make. The teeth had to fit together precisely, and the technology at the time was not advanced enough to produce something that required such fine workmanship. Gideon overcame this challenge by working patiently. If Gideon hadn't dared to try new things, we would still be trying to fit a lot of buttons today. Japanese automotive giant Mazda was facing economic problems in the 1970s. The impact of the oil crisis and increased competition in Japan caused serious economic difficulties. To get out of this situation, they pursued a passion they had inside: the Wankel engine. This move was a challenge to all the dinosaurs in the industry. Designed by Felix Wankel, the Wankel engine has a completely different working principle from piston engines. The combustion process takes place around a rotating rotor, making this engine both technically interesting and unique in the automobile world. Mazda wanted to set itself apart from other automakers with this innovative technology. Kenichi Yamamoto, the leader of Mazda's rotary engine team, played a key role in the development of this engine. Yamamoto believed that the Wankel engine would be a differentiator for Mazda and promote the brand globally. You want to produce a sports car. The engine you want to put in the car is light, revs very fast, and is made of fewer parts. Is there any chance that this car will not be popular? Of course, if we see the fuel gauge while looking at the tachometer, we might change our minds. Mazda must have had these foresights because it invested heavily in Wankel engine technology despite the economic difficulties. It was under financial pressure because of these investments. The high fuel consumption of these engines turned into a disadvantage, with the impact of the oil crisis and negatively affected sales. This crisis caused Mazda's main shareholder, Sumitomo Bank, to step in. The bank provided support to save the company from financial collapse. However, Mazda took bold steps during this period and managed to recover with iconic models such as the RX-7 and achieved global success. Mazda's RX series made its debut in 1967 with the Cosmo Sport model. Considered the pioneer of the RX series, this was Mazda's vehicle to introduce rotary engine technology to the world. It attracted attention with its sleek design and 110 horsepower 982 C-Co Wankel engine. In the 1970s, Mazda launched the RX-2, RX-3, and RX-4 models to bring the rotary engine to a wider audience. RX-2, as a mid-range sedan or coupe, it combined everyday use and performance. RX-3, with its compact design, it was loved by young drivers and racers alike. RX-4, offered as a larger and more luxurious option. These models were Mazda's first attempts at bringing the rotary engine to the mainstream. At the time, the sports car world was dominated by models like the Porsche 911 and the Nissan Z series. The Porsche 911 dominated the racetrack with its durability and engineering genius, while the Nissan Z series captivated speed enthusiasts with its powerful engines and aggressive design. But for the new RX, Mazda has chosen a completely different way to tackle these powerful rivals: lightness and perfect weight distribution. The first generation RX-7, codenamed S22C, weighed just 1,050 kilograms and handled perfectly, offering speed and agility without the need for big engine power. Its 1.2-liter twin-rotor engine, even with 100 horsepower, gave the driver pure driving pleasure. And most importantly, the perfect weight balance and rear-wheel drive layout, which kept it one step ahead of the competition in the corners, made the RX-7 a complete driving machine. In 1985, the second generation RX-7, codenamed FC, was launched. With its Porsche 944-inspired design and turbocharged engine options, it was no longer just a lightweight sports car, but a serious power machine. The FC's most notable feature was its suspension system, which Mazda called the Dynamic Tracking Suspension System. This innovation further improved the handling of the RX-7 and revolutionized the sports car market. It was the turn of the most sympathetic of the four musketeers in Japanese car culture. But the real explosion came in 1992. The third generation RX-7, codenamed FD, burst onto the scene in defiance of all its rivals. The FD became legendary for its aerodynamic design, low weight, and the fact that it could get the power from its 1.3-liter twin-turbocharged engine that its rivals got from a 3-liter engine. This engine was capable of producing 276 horsepower and was tuned to push Japan's famous gentleman's agreement limit. The RX-7 FD's turbo system, with its sequential turbo technology, offered a quick response at low revs and maximum power at high revs, accelerating from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.3 seconds. The RX-7 was a pure performance car. Thanks to the rotation of the rotor, rather than the up and down motion of a piston engine, the engine ran smoothly and without vibration. This made the driving experience more enjoyable. The Wankel engine easily reached high revs, attracting drivers looking for speed and performance. The RX-7 FD's other technical features also contributed to its popularity. The design of the RX-7 was based on the Jimba Itai, unity of rider and horse philosophy. This offered a lightness and balance that allowed the driver to become one with the vehicle. The FD's design had aerodynamics that compared favorably with supercars such as Ferrari and Lamborghini. The RX-7 has won the hearts of modern car enthusiasts, especially with the Fast and Furious series. Han's RX-7 became an icon that introduced the rotary engine culture to younger generations. The RX-7 achieved great success not only on the road but also on the racetrack. Having made history with the Mazda 787B at Le Mans, Mazda continued this success with the RX-7 in organizations such as the Japanese Super GT and IMSA. The RX-7 wrote its name in gold letters with both its durability and driving dynamics. Soon after this victory, however, Wankel-powered cars were banned from racing. This gave rise to rumors that the engine's potential was still feared. The RX-8, the last link in the RX series, aimed to present the rotary engine in a more modern and everyday use. The 1.3-liter Renesis engine was noted for its lower fuel consumption and emissions. It also combined practicality and aesthetics with its unique suicide door design. The RX-8 represented the farewell of the RX series with the Wankel engine. Despite all the difficulties and financial crises, Mazda pursued its passion. 40 years later, it still manages to design special vehicles that everyone still admires. It gave all petrolheads a special sound that could never be heard in any other vehicle. Maybe it didn't last as long as the invention of the zipper, but like a zipper, it managed to shut the mouths of those who said, "Mazda can't do that."